Hey everyone, welcome to the AAPEX pre-show podcast, the podcast that talks about everything you need to know before you head to the show. There's a lot going on, both in the industry and at AAPEX, right? AAPEX is a reflection of what's going on in the industry, and there's a lot. As vehicles are out there getting repaired, you think about the average age of vehicles. It's going up, almost year over year. We used to talk about, they're 10 to 11 years old. Now they're 12 years old. And some estimates, depending on the vehicle, it could be upwards of 14 years old. That's a lot of variation of vehicles. And one thing we know is there's a lot of technology packed into those vehicles. Lots of VCUs, dozens of them. You need to make sure you have the right tools and equipment to be able to fix those vehicles. And AAPEX has it all. Cutting edge solutions, tried and true components to fix the vehicles. But if you don't go in with a plan, you're not setting yourself up for success. That's why we're talking to two AAPEX experts today. Kathleen Callahan, owner of Xpertech Auto Repair in Inglewood, Florida, and Bernard Tansey, co-founder and COO of Euroclinic European Auto Specialists out of Santa Clara, California, are going to share their tips on how to navigate the show, get to where you're going, and see the solutions you need. Let's connect. Kathleen, B, great to have you back. Thanks for taking the time.
It's great to be here. Thank you, Jason.
Glad to be back.
All right, so we're talking about the age of vehicles, increasing age of vehicles, increasing complexity of vehicles. Both of you shop owners getting vehicles through the bay. How do you keep up with it? How do you keep up with this exponential growth of the complexity of cars, the components that are on it, and the technology that's evolving on it? Kathleen, what are you doing at your shop?
And that's a really tough question. There are so many shifts and changes that I've never seen technology move so fast in our industry. Right. We have a weekly meeting and I talk to my technicians about what they're seeing because I'm not a tech, right? And then before I go to an event like AAPEX, I go with a list. So what are the vendors? What is the technology that you want me to go check out? Because they stay here. That's when our season really starts to pick up, right about AAPEX week. So what do you want me to go look at? What vendors are you interested in? Is there anything in particular we need? And what training would you like me to take a look at? So I really rely on my staff to tell me where to go. Right.
Very, very smart. B,
that sounded odd.
I also rely on those on my side. People just tell me where to go to, and I'm good with that as well.
Exactly. All the time.
It's servitude leadership. I think that's how it works, right? B, how do you tackle it?
Very much in a similar manner. You know, if my techs, obviously I came up as a technician, so I'm very familiar with what they go through, the difficulty in getting information or finding proper training. But when you've got an avenue like AAPEX that is so engulfed in so much information, as long as you take advantage of that and plan yourself out, you're going to come back with a lot that's going to set you up for at least the next year until you can do this again. There's so many different levels of training, different aspects. And when my technicians come to me and say, hey, you know, we need to we're seeing a lot of ADAS. Let's use that, for example. I'm like, okay, great. So we've got this note and we're looking in, well, what is AAPEX offering this year? How can we take advantage of that? Well, there's new ADAS equipment. There's, different training platforms. There's classes. So we can really hone in on one specific item. We don't have to be so broad. And I think that's where sometimes I think Kathleen said this earlier, it's so overwhelming how much is there. You kind of lose sight of where you're at. But when you go in with a game plan, like she said, her techs tell them, hey, this is what we need. She might have 3 or 4 items. She's zoned in, she's focused. This is what I'm shooting for. And now she's intentional. Same thing that we do. So we can come back to our shops with all this data, new equipment, whatever it might be, so they can do their job easier.
Right, for sure. And that's all well and good. And I appreciate that. And I love the planning. But AAPEX, I mean, you two both know, and for those that have been there, I mean, there is a lot going on, right? We got more than 2,600 exhibitors across 1,400 product categories. You walk in and it's like stepping in the Wonka's chocolate factory. I mean, you might have a plan, but the music kicks on and you're like, oh my goodness, the whole world is opening up before me. How do you really tackle the show floor? Because it is massive. For the folks that haven't been there or for the folks that are going for the first time, it's a large footprint floor. It's easy to get sidetracked. Sometimes that's a good thing too. B, how do you navigate? Like feet on the floor, how are you navigating the show floor?
I'm almost embarrassed to say.
You're among friends.
I nerd out.
You're among friends.
So I will actually go on AAPEX website and I will screenshot their floor map.
All right.
And normally they're different colors based on level and based on what it is. I put that into my Google Sheets. I'll paste it over and now I've got cells and I'll put, okay, this vendor booth is 58035 and this is my credit card processor. I just want to go up, shake a hand, say thanks for doing business and move on. But I might have 30 more vendors that I want to see in a 2-day span. And I'll look at and I'll map it out and say, okay, if I start here, I can go this way, this way, this way. I can hit 4 or 5 of them on my way back. I'll hit these. I'm going to stop here because I want to get something to drink. And I'll come back over here and hit these last 2. And that's my day. Because I might have meetings, I might have other stuff going on. Right. And then the next day, I'm going to hit the second level and I'm going to hit these in order. At least that way, I've seen everyone that I want to see. I've touched the hands I want to touch. I've thanked them. I've looked at new products. I've got those flyers and pamphlets. That's how I maximize my time at AAPEX. And like I said, I kind of nerd out on that a little bit. And it's only because this is probably my 10th or 11th year being out there.
Oh, wow.
I used to just fly by the seat of my pants, walk around and look at the cool stuff. And you're zigzagging, you're up and down, you're here, you're left, you're right. And you realize that when you're there and you start seeing recaps, you probably only saw 10% of that place.
Right.
Because it's so large, it's so overwhelming that it's easy to do. Now, if you've been there so many times and you're just going for fun, by all means, walk around, just have fun, mingle. But if you're going with intent, I like to lay stuff out so I know where I'm going.
Yeah, that's awesome. I will definitely steal a page from that. Kathleen, what's your approach?
So I want to call nerd Tansey out over there. But no, seriously, you were saying that? I do the same thing. I screenshot the AAPEX floor map and I start to map out vendors. Absolutely. I don't Google sheet it, but I wrote that down. Totally going to do that. But so for me, I have multi-layers at AAPEX, right? So being the vice chair of women in auto care, I want to make sure that I intentionally visit all of our sponsors and say thank you for the sponsorship, as well as thank you for doing business. And I really do a lot of the same thing that B does. But what I will tell you, I'm really, again, excited about some of the shifts this year is that they've segmented the show floor. Mm-hmm. So when we want to go see, oil or accessories or lighting, it's all in one place. I'm not ping pong balling all around the show, upstairs, downstairs, over here, up there. I love to get my steps in, but I don't need to have 14 miles by, 10 a.m. So right. I'm really excited to see how that really streamlines and maximizes my time on the floor. Because you're right. And as you get more involved in things and you've been there and you're seasoned in going to AAPEX, and the training is really elevating every single year, you've got to divide and conquer. So I really think segmenting the show floor is going to make my life and my tasks a lot easier. And I'm really excited to see it. But I will tell you, like, one never miss Joe's Garage. Yep. I spend a lot of time down there watching people hands-on. What are they using? What are they, what's the new stuff down there, right? And so I just find the energy of that, well, it feels like home, right? Yeah. You heard the horn in the background while B was talking. That's right. We're shop owners. I'm in my shop as well. I'm waiting for, an air hammer to go while we're trying to record here. That feels like home. And even Joe's Garage has some really cool technology upgrades every single year that you get to see in action while these people are working on cars. So, right. I love the segmentation. I nerd out and make a map as well. And I will tell you, my best advice for that is pick 20, right? And hit 5 to 7 a day, right? Pace yourself, figure it out. Look, if you can do more, great, but don't overwhelm yourself with trying to visit too many vendors, because then you won't be able to see the new stuff you didn't plan on.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, good. Because I do want to reiterate that is, from a show perspective, big news this year. The revamp of the floor. The idea is it should kind of feel like a parts store. You're walking in. The segmentation is all by product category. So you're walking into the parts store, and it's just the world's largest parts store you've ever seen with everything there. I am definitely going to steal. You know what? Because that's what I'm terrible at. I just get excited and start just filling in meetings where I can fit them in. But then I use the AAPEX app though, because it's like Google Maps, and I love it because it tells me my location and where it is and my directions to my booth. But yeah, and then I get my 20,000 steps a day. That's for sure. I'm totally stealing a page
by 10 a.m.
from both of you. Yeah, right. Very good. So I'm running through the floor. So I'm going to try not to avoid doing that, right? But you want to be intentional. I like that word, intentional. That's come up a couple of times there now too. And being able to see those innovations. You two are AAPEX alums. You've been to the show before. You've been there many times. AAPEX pros. Can you think of a time when maybe a product discovery moment really stuck out with you? Something you found on the show floor that maybe you weren't expecting or surprised you that was really impactful on the business? Kathleen, any memory come to mind?
So I would say there's two things that I discovered in the past few years at AAPEX that I thought were really cool. First of all, I'm allowed to call specific vendors out, right?
Go for it.
Okay, I connected Women in Auto Care, right? It's all about networking and connections with this lovely woman named Ashley Zaramet, and she is with Tub of Towels, right? And so I got some samples from her. I brought them back to the shop. Best thing ever. If you guys we get tubs of them, and you can get them kind of everywhere now, but back when they were really small, like my staff would hoard their own tub of Towels. Hey, can I have one of those? No. No, that's mine. You get your own. Because they're a really, really fantastic product. I probably never would have found had I not gone to AAPEX and made those connections and then gone to the booth and all of that. So that's a fun product. So we don't work on EVs in our shop, but 2 years ago, I believe it was, down by Joe's Garage, they had a fire blanket for EVs that they were doing demos with. Yeah. Remember that? And so not for my shop, but boy, look, I live in the land of hurricanes, right? And saltwater and EVs, not a great combination. Right. And it's really hard to put those fires out. So I got that information, and I thought my local fire department would love to know about this. And so, cool. No, it's not automotive, but it was auto adjacent. I brought it back to help educate my community and keep my community safer, right? Because, we fix cars, but we're also members of our community and helping our towns be better in our areas. And so I connected our fire chief with this company so that they could look into and investigate that as a tool that they could use to assist. So I never would have seen that had I not been walking around AAPEX, because I'm not looking for it. I'm not an EV shop, but I found an answer to a problem that I knew someone else had.
That's cool. B, how about you? What memories come to mind?
I mean, I always just get blown away by the new stuff. I'm a car guy. I love tools. I buy tools that I probably still haven't touched, but they're just so neat and cool. I'm like, I have to have it. One of the ones that sticks out in my mind, because I was actually able to purchase it right then and there and take it home with me. And I love new stuff. And it was a line wrench they would use for like a fuel line or a brake line, but the outer flank of it was spring loaded, in turn making a ratchet style line wrench.
Oh, nice.
It's just the innovation. Now, I've probably only used it once, but I mean, I didn't even need to. I just wanted to use it. It wasn't really stuck on there that great, but I just wanted to use it. I wanted to feel it. And I was like, wow, this actually works. It was really cool. And to me, the design was big, but it's also just the innovation behind that. And that tells me, that sets the stage for a lot of other manufacturers that are there, is they're listening to their clients. That was obviously some feedback that technicians had given this company, and the company said, we'll make it happen. We'll figure out our way to do this. They did it. It's on display. You can feel it. You can touch it. It was great. And I had to have one.
So we have the plan for how we're walking the floor. We're going to take in what we can see, maybe be open to some of those opportunities on some new things. But on that shop owner level, right? how important is it, or what impact is there of being able to see a lot of these things, right? Alternatives, new product, remanufactured. You can see the good, better, best product tiers too. When you come back to the shop, does that impact those choices you're making then throughout the year? Do those experiences carry through and make impactful changes to how you're acquiring parts and equipment? B, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've got a wallet just like everyone else. So I think that budget is always something that is on everyone's mind. And I think that most shop owners look at it as, if I'm only going to use this piece of equipment or tool once a year, he may not go out and buy the one that is the most expensive. Now, if I've got something where these guys are using it daily, weekly, best believe, give me the best one that's on the market. I don't care how much it costs. The other thing that we look at is longevity. You know, I'm investing in this equipment or whatever it might be. I want to make sure that it's going to last. You know, it's not something that we want to purchase over and over again. And the nice part about AAPEX is it's there. You can see it. You can grab it. You can say, oh, I like this one. I think that's what's really neat about that. It kind of reminds me when you're buying a fridge and you're in the big box store, you can open up all the doors and drawers and see how big it is and look at the one next to it. So when you're making your decisions, it's not like you're online clicking buttons. Now it's worth your time going because you can play with it. A lot of times they have demos, so you can actually try these things out and see if it's a right fit for you and your business.
Right. Yeah, for sure. We had the plug for Joe's Garage a little bit earlier too, which is a great example of that. Kathleen, how about you? How does this impact your decisions throughout the year?
Well, like B said, you know, you have the opportunity to go out there, and if you're looking to get into, you know, some shops don't do alignments, right? So they're going to add an aligner, and that's a big decision, right? Because then you're getting into tires and a whole nother income stream. And is it worth it? So going out and being able to get a live demo on 3, 4, 5 different machines and make an educated guess with budget, user-friendly training, support, all of those items. Where else in the world are you able to do that besides AAPEX?
Right.
So for equipment purchases, I mean, tools I look at as well, but there's software vendors out there that you can look at, credit card processors, staffing services. I mean, all kinds of, I talk about accessories, you know, air fresheners, little giveaways, equipment all the way to giveaways.
Well, I appreciate you two taking the time. I feel armed and ready to take on AAPEX with your expert knowledge that you've shared here today. And we will see everybody else on the show floor at AAPEX.